Welcome everyone to the Performance Management webinar. This is your host, Certified Master Coach, John Randall. We got a lot to cover today, so get ready. Lots of topics around your performance, perhaps one of the most important parts of a small business, which we are in this financial industry. Independent financial advisors run their own business. And a lot of it is dependent on your performance, especially where it matters most, with your clients and with your prospects. We're going to go through the elements of performance, some key areas where you can get just a little bit better. And a lot of these aren't a flip of the switch. They're constantly getting a little bit better. It's like climbing a staircase. You can't just appear at the top of the staircase. You've got to take it one step at a time on your journey to constantly improve. So lots of great areas here, and excited to dive into these. I know most of you we invited some guests, welcome guests. For those of you that don't know me, I'm John Randall, been around the industry a long time. For most of my career, was an advisor just like you. Along the way, I helped other advisors, got extremely passionate about it, and that's all I do today is help advisors grow. Gotten lots of accolades over the year, thanks to all of you that I work with that do an amazing job and grow really fast and actually do the stuff that we talk about. Turns out it works. I didn't make a lot of this up. I have copied it, have organized the information and given it along to you. So I'm excited about that. One of the aspects of today that'll be neat is I'm working through my doctorate in performance psychology. And so a lot of this is come from there. I personally work with a basically sports psychologist, a performance coach. They work with professional athletes, and I'm kind of a weird, unicorn that begged to work with them because it's really congruent. It's the same stuff. And so I'll share with you a little bit about what a professional athlete might work on and what you can apply and learn from some of the best, people you see on TV this person works with. And I'll give you all their hints and where it all comes from. Again, our special group is just so fantastic. We're real proud of the Dynamic Directions community of advisors, the sharing that goes on, the best practices that others give, and just helping each other grow is a really neat culture that we have here. So look, a lot of these best practices come from them. We work with some of the very top practices in the industry, and to share some of these insights and pass them along is something I'm really passionate about. Love speaking, love doing these webinars to give you the goods. So let's dive into it as we go here. One reminder I always like to talk about is this is the most important thing. You can have the best idea in the world, but working on your mindset or your beliefs, the things inside your head, they're so critical because they are what influences your behaviors. Your behaviors kind of determine your results. So if you're out of alignment, if you have some self-limiting beliefs holding you back, you're not going to have those behavior shifts that you need to constantly get better. You're going to be stuck. And the way our brain works, it likes equilibrium. It likes to keep things the same. Your brain will constantly trick you into making sure that things are the same. It'll tell you this is the way we do things around here, and anything different, that does not compute. So we've got to overcome that. We've got to overcome some of these self-limiting beliefs and constantly shift our behaviors in positive directions to constantly increase and boost our results that we get. So just think about this question as we dive in. How can you be at your best more often? That's really the essence of this. How can you be at your very best more often? There's probably points that you were at your best, where you really crushed it. There's probably some points where maybe you were not at your best. This performance concept is all about how can you be at your best most often. So let's just start with looking at what holds you back from being at your best more often. It could be maybe a time of day that you notice. It could be your day after a vacation, you're not at your best. What holds you back from being at your best more often? So just take a moment and write some of those down. When is it that you're not at your best? When would you recognize this? If you're listening to a replay of this, I mean, gosh, you can go back. It's going to be out there on YouTube. So you could go back and revisit this in a month or a couple months or once a quarter, revisit this brief 30-minute webinar. So just pay attention to that. This also could be an exercise that you regularly do, and really maybe have a regular routine of checking in on maybe when you are at your best and when you're not, and maybe keeping a journal of some of these and noticing, you know, how it's going, and when you are at your best and when you're not. Keep some tabs on that. Could really help as we go. So our main topics here really integrate performance here. Time management and compression, critical one. Lots of interest in this one. Energy management, a close cousin to there. We're going to talk about stress, how it helps and how it hinders, and all that fueling into performance enhancement. And at the end of the day, fueling your business growth. That's what I've been most passionate about. That's what we care about most at Dynamic Directions, is massive growth and helping you achieve it. This is a big component of it. So let's talk about time compression. The concept is, how can you do the same in less time? It's like hitting the fast forward button on the old VCR machine. It's like, how can you make this happen quicker? Almost everything that you do can be compressed. Now, we all have anchors that this takes this much time, or I'm supposed to sit with a client for 90 minutes. Everything that we do can be compressed. And part of your mission should be looking at what can you compress. Imagine if you applied this to everything. Every single thing in your day, in your week, your month, your year. Imagine how much time that could add up to be. If you find little ways to do things in less time, and you had more time in your day to maybe reinvest in more growth areas, or maybe to have more balance in life so you have higher energy levels. So this is very much something in your control. A lot of us just go through the whirlwind of the week and don't pay attention to this. A lot of us are robotic and we just are sort of set in our ways and we just do our thing. This is something you can constantly adjust and constantly change. So a lot of you might have a model week. I've heard some people talk about the perfect calendar, what your ideal week looks like. It's a great tool to keep you on track. So whether you're looking at a small level of your day or your week, think about the big level too. What does the month look like? What does the year look like? You know, what days are you performing with clients? What days are you preparing for that or just planning to work on the business? What days are you out of the business? Recharging, refreshing, relaxing. See Joe Redigon here. He's an expert at this. Everyone should definitely ask Joe about balance and recharging. He's an awesome practitioner, great advisor, but he's got it down with trips and family, and really great one to learn from here. But plan it out. What's your ideal day, week, month, year? Start thinking bigger picture. And the little differences, remember, that you make each day, each week, they can add up in your month and your year. And that's how you can get more time to work on your business. Think about if you spent a little bit less time on something each day, it could create a whole day that's free per month, that you roll up your sleeves. There's no client appointments. There's no distractions. You just work on the business. Imagine having 12 of those throughout the year. What a difference that could make for your business. So, you know, this surge concept's gotten really popular in a lot of podcasts, like Michael Kitces, who I love. I've listened to hundreds of those. They're absolutely fantastic. So the surge is really grouping client interactions closer together. So instead of having a whole month of every week's the same, I have 12 appointments a week or however many it is, maybe have 2 weeks where you have double or triple the amount of interactions. And then you have 2 weeks that you don't have that. Maybe you have a week to get ready for it and follow up from it. And then you have a week off. You know, this compression can really help with your family if you want to align your schedule maybe with the kids' school schedule, if you want to take more time off away from the business, or if for your team, if you just want to have, let's crank and do as much as we can in these bursts, and let's have some time to get ready for it. Let's have some time to follow up with it. It's an interesting concept, and I've seen some practices run with this. It really works unique. But if you want to create more time in your calendar to work on the business, check out the Surge. Email me, text me if you're interested in more info on this. It's pretty cool. Check out Michael Kitces' podcast. They're really great stuff. There's a couple others that talk about this too, but he's the one that I listened to that brought this great idea. It's really awesome. Another one that can help is just know your priorities. If you know what's most important for you to be working on at every moment, if you're crystal clear what that is, it can help you with your day. It can help you know that, gosh, this is what I should be doing. Talking to my best clients and generating new revenue with them. There's something administrative that doesn't generate new revenue with clients or bring new clients in the table. Why are you doing it? You should really question your priorities. And if you need a refresher on this, let's go back to the old faithful passion and productivity exercise. I'm happy to re-email that to anybody. It's a simple PDF where you keep track of the things that you do and you organize them by A, B, C, D level categories, kind of like you segment clients. You're segmenting the things on your plate. Ideally, you get down to the A levels, which is the stuff you absolutely love about the business. It has the highest productivity level. For most advisors, it's talking to their best clients. The C and D level activities are things that you should probably not be doing, that we need to look at how can we get those off your plate. So if you're aware of these things or need help becoming aware, the exercise can help you become aware. And look, this is something good to do probably annually, and look at what are the next things to come off your plate to go on your team's plate. You should be doing this with your time. And you look at the very best and top advisors in the industry, they have very small amount of things on their plate. Things like, I'm working on leadership, I'm working on the next deal, and that's it. So what's most important to you? What do you want to prioritize from a passion and productivity standpoint? Be crystal clear about it and leverage it, but go through the exercise. If you haven't in a while, might be a great summer thing to do, or if you want to take Memorial Day weekend that's coming up, just evaluate it. Could be something you work on over the course of a week or a month as you become more aware of what are the things on your plate that you could condense time in or just shouldn't be on your plate. Use this exercise. It's a great one to go back to. So as you go, again, you could replay this and just look at what takes the most amount of your time. So if you take whatever takes the most amount of time and you create some efficiency there, now you're talking. That might be a place to start. How can that thing you do most often take the least amount of time? So for a lot of advisors, it's client interactions. How can you make them shorter? Could you cover less and rotate topics throughout the year? So clients are getting everything they need, but they're not, drinking from the fire hose like, we're capable of doing as advisors to give a lot of info. Most consumers can't handle it all. Communications. How can you template as much as possible? Even just a simple email response that you might have. How can you do this? I tell you, Outlook has tremendous efficiencies, tremendous. And I'm not just talking rules of what you can set to send your emails to certain inboxes or delete certain ones or just to keep your inbox clear. I'm talking about other rules on really adding in some templates and things that can pop in there. Salesforce, CRM, they have some great neat methods as well for efficiency. So just be thinking about that. And the highest volume thing you do here around your client interaction, like maybe follow-ups, how can those be templated? How could they feel like there's a little bit of customized information, but you're not reinventing the wheel every time? It's doing it in less time. Tasks that might be on your plate. How can you do them in less time? How can you do them faster? And pass this to your team. Your team would benefit from going through this too. So look, just pick maybe one item to go through. You can't pick them all and condense everything all the time, but if you just had one item per week, you said, you know what? I'm going to try and get a little bit more efficient here. I'm just going to try and compress a little bit. Even if it's something that you do 10 times and you do it in 1 minute less each time, that's 10 minutes. You spend 10 minutes working on your business or looking for opportunities. I'm telling you, it's going to help you grow. It's going to make a big difference. So just take it one step at a time. Remember, it's like climbing a staircase. This is a continual path to get better. It's not a light switch that occurs here. Perhaps even bigger than time management is energy management. I tell you, it's kind of like your mobile phone. You know, the battery in our phone is not so different from a human being. If you use it a lot, the battery goes down and eventually it runs out. If you manage it well, the phone charge can sustain throughout the day. So think about yourself in the same way. It's really not that different. Now, passion is something that can fuel your energy. And the why behind what the heck you do to help other people. Why are you doing this? Is there some, personal goal that's an internal motivator that's trying to get you somewhere? This is the fire. This is really what fuels the fire, is your why and your passion. And so you've got to use that to give you constant energy. So remember, energy is finite. So you want to invest it very wisely. So when it comes to investing it wisely, there are some connections with time and energy. So yes, they're two different concepts, but there's a lot of parts that they are interrelated. So pay attention to when you have the most amount of energy, maybe when you're feeling drained. And look, you could adjust your schedule and routine based off of this. So if you come in the morning, you feel like, I'm ready to go, I have maximum energy, that's probably when you should be doing your most important task. I see a lot of people fall in the trap of, I'm cranking when I get into the office and I do a whole bunch of emails. And then I talk to clients, and it turns out I talk to my best clients at the end of their business day and I'm exhausted. What about flipping that around? What about talking to your best clients when you're on fire? What about doing the monotonous emails at the end of the day when your gas tank's running a little bit low? That's the kind of awareness to develop when it comes to energy, is when are you high? When are you feeling drained? Start there. We want to have, how can you have more times that you're high? How can we get rid of the times that you're drained? And so one of the tie-ins with time is you might need to adjust your model day, week, month, or year to make sure you've got some plugging the phone in to recharge it time. As human beings, that's the cure here to energy management, is making sure that you exert maximum energy when you need it, but you can recharge it when you need to. So in performance psychology, a lot of people work with professional athletes. They would describe good energy management is to be able to call on 100% of your energy at will when you need it. That's good energy management. So not 90% if you need it, being able to call on 100% if it is needed from you. So let's think about if there's just the worst day in the stock market ever, something horrific happens, and your clients need to hear from you. If you're going to turn on that camera and send out a message to them, you've got to be at your best. You can't be drained there. You've got to have maximum level performance. Like the greatest musician, the greatest athlete, the greatest financial advisor ever has got to be your performance level. And to be able to just call on that and be 100%, that's good energy management. So we often get drained by stuff we shouldn't be doing, by stuff we don't like doing, clients we don't like doing. Think about what an energy drain they are. We got to look to shift that. How can you get out of those things or condense your time in those things so you've got more time at your best, more time when your energy is better? So some little examples here. One that's become pretty popular is, you don't have to have a marathon day. As human beings, we don't function as well running marathons. We actually do better in more of sprints with rest time in between. If you want to check out a book, check out Jim Lohr's Power of Full Engagement. It's all about this. They study professional tennis players and they kind of apply this to business, but there's a reason that top tennis players are the top all the time. They're really good at this stuff. And in between points, they're able to come down, lower their heart rate, slow their breathing, and almost totally recharge in between points. Whereas the players that are ranked, 15, 20, 30, their skill is just as good. They're amazing players, but they tend to be in a heightened state. And you'll see their matches are pretty even. Then at some point, the one at a heightened state wears out, where the one who's recharging more often, they end up winning. That's why they're the number one, number two, number three consistently. So it's really an amazing concept and a lot of work to do here. So same, just pick, one area to work on, just like time, but just building awareness around when you feel like you could call them 100% at any moment. And when you're feeling drained, let's look into that. If you're feeling drained, we got to cut those out as soon as possible. What is your energy vampire? What's like sucking out the energy from you and taking it away? If you can identify that and we work on removing those or reducing those, that's the path there. That can make a really, really big difference. So feel free to use the chat box if you want to type in there. Just click down in the bottom right. I'll be checking it out. I'll keep an eye on it. But if you want to post any insights or direct questions here, I'd be happy to answer them for those of you that are on live. So hey, thank you, Olivia. Timely reminders as we get into warmer weather. So yeah, we got Memorial Day weekend coming. And hopefully everyone's got some nice refresh time coming here. Typically advisors will take a little bit more time off. Kids hit a point that they're not as in school as much. So definitely use that. So look, stress is sort of a byproduct of time and energy. It really can be in this business. And look, stress can be the largest inhibitor of productivity in business. It's like, it's the ultimate energy vampire that steals away. Now, look, stress is not the worst thing. So there's an optimal stress level. If you had no stress in your life, zero, like you wouldn't even get out of bed, right? I mean, zero stress is not good. As human beings, we need some stress that, hey, I got to go perform for my clients. I need to make a difference for them. They're paying me to make a difference. I need to get out there and do it. There's like a little bit of stress associated with that. It's good. Now, when there's too much, it becomes distress and it's debilitating. So you got to find what is that optimal level where you feel like, I got to get in there and do it. I've got to do something special here, but it's not too much. That's the spot you want to be in. So pay attention to, when you're feeling lackluster. Look, a lot of great practices get complacent. Advisors feel like, oh my gosh, I'm making more money than I've ever made. Never thought I'd make this much. Life's pretty easy right now. Why kill myself anymore? There's not enough stress there. There's not that burning fire to grow and to make a big difference. It can be a dangerous spot to be in for businesses. That's the path to businesses going down and dying. But again, too much stress. When are those happening? Are there points? Are there clients that cause stress? Are there situations that cause stress? Is it when the market goes down? What is it that really puts your stress meter high? If you're building awareness around that, we can do something about it. So I find the passion and productivity can definitely align to this and can kind of help you know that, hey, when I'm working with a certain amount of client that I really like, I don't feel stressed. I kind of feel that optimal level where I love it. These certain clients, it stresses me when they waste my time or these things. Then, I'm making this up. This compliance thing that annoys me, causes me stress. Find out what those are and let's eliminate them. Be like a stress sniper and find them and let's exit them and get them out. And remember, all this ties together. Your performance is really a byproduct of all these things. You can control that optimal performance level, stress level, time compression, energy management. It's all sort of cyclical. They all really influence each other. So go in this order that the webinar progressed through, because time is in your control. We all have the same amount of time. I despise when people say, I don't have time. And hey, I've caught myself saying that too. I average over 70 coaching sessions per week. I'm doing multiple presentations like this. I got a lot going on in our very fast growing business, one of the biggest in the financial industry. I've got happily married to a wife. I've got 2 kids. I'm involved in their activities. And I'm working on a doctorate degree, which is pretty much the most insane thing that a human being can do, I'm discovering. But hey, it's, you know what? I find time for stuff. Some extra comes up the family, I'm there. That's really important. It's a high priority to me. Some that comes that's a low priority, stay away. So it can be done. We all have the same amount of time. How you invest it is your choice, and you can constantly get better at it. Your energy management. How can you set up your time so that you're at optimal higher levels, can call it 100% at a moment's notice? How are we eliminating the areas where you're not at your best from a energy standpoint? If you're drained, let's get it out. And think about stress. When are you at that optimal level where you feel like, yeah, I really got to do this, and it's not too much, it's not distress. We want that optimal level. What's causing distress? What's causing the extremes levels that we need to get rid of and get out of your business and get out of your life? That's really what we're going after here. So any other questions or insights, go ahead and pop in the chat box. I'll keep an eye on them here. But look, this is really, comes down to you being at your best. To tie this all together from that opening statement, that's what it's all about. If you are at your very best more often, your business will grow much faster than it ever has. If you have moments when you're investing time in your business that you're not at your best, we have to figure out how to undo that. How can we have less time when you're not at your best? More time that you're at your best. Now look, no one's perfect. Michael Jordan, who everyone knows, had days that he was not at his best. The best musician you could think of, the Beatles, they had days that they were not at their best. There were moments that every high performer was not at their best. You and me, we've had moments that we're not at our best. We've had moments that we are in our best, but we've had moments that we're not. So pay attention to those. We want more of the best moments, less of the not best moments. And as your percentage of best moments increases, we constantly decrease the moments of not as good in the business. That's what we're going after here. And remember, this is a journey. It's an endless staircase to climb. And you're allowed to skip a step or two if you want, but you can't just appear at the top of a staircase somehow. It's something to work on. And it's not something that, you're going to learn from a financial firm. This is something that you got to explore on your own. And it's really individualized for you. Each of your passion and productivity exercises are going to be a little bit different. Yeah, I'm sure most of you like interacting with your best clients, and I know that drives the most revenue, but you're going to have differences. You're going to have different energy levels during the day. You're going to have different points that you're drained. I've had some people say, you know what? Around lunchtime, I'm drained. So I shut it down and take a nap. And when I wake up, I'm like a million miles an hour. That actually works for an advisor, a really good advisor. They do that, and that works for them. Some people say, you know what? I'm just not at my best after 3, so I'm done. I'm shutting it down. I'm not talking to clients after then because I'm not going to give them 97%. They deserve 100 minimum at all times. So seek this out. And really, this is all part of conditioning you. You can check this out as a follow-up here as we kind of wrap up. But work on this constantly. And just remember, the things that have gotten you here to this point, it's going to be a different level that gets you up the staircase. Don't stay at the same place in the staircase. You deserve better. Your business deserves better. Your team, your clients, your prospects who you'll eventually help, they deserve better. Continually take steps up that staircase and get a little bit better every day. One little move that's a little bit better adds up per day, per week, per month, per year, over 5 years, over 10 years. You can completely transform yourself and your business into maximum growth. So for those of you who are not working with, I only have 2 free coaching sessions available in June. First come, first serve. If you want to talk about this stuff, if you want to talk about how a coach can help you grow this, I'm happy to do it. We have a lot of really cool group programs coming out. I'm telling you, these are awesome. They're with the superstars, the best of the best that you'll get access to. We have about 4 launching later this year. Some other ones going to be launching next year. It's a much lower price point investment to get access to some of these people. And of course, for free, we send out, thousands of people are receiving our Marketing Minute emails. Look out for special guest appearance from Trevor Shakiba, one of our favorites, who's going to be on. But just send me an email, shoot me a text if you want to get on our Marketing Minutes. We'd love to just give away knowledge. It's literally a 1-minute video with a marketing idea. But look, this stuff works. Work on it. Focus on the results and taking that next step up the staircase. Let go of the obstacles. The losers get caught up in the minutia of the obstacles. The winners, the best of the best, they're focused on results. Great to see everyone on. Great to see everyone on YouTube watching these replays. Everyone stay awesome, and we'll see you in a video here real soon. Take care.